Hi, this is Angie from Canterbury Trails Farm. Today we're going to make another throw pillow for the cozy corner. And I had all of these, well, I got this set, and they're kittens, it's hard to tell sometimes, on eBay, and it's vintage, and somebody's grandmother made it. And they said that as she got older, her eyesight got worse, and she wasn't able to see that she did it in two different shades. That doesn't bother. So originally I had this was a set. There's like the back for the back of the chair, and these are like the arms. So I had these two smaller ones, and then I also had this one that has a puppy on it, flowers and a puppy, and I was trying to decide if I wanted to do something with it. I think I'm going to use the biggest one. I put together, I had a whole bunch I bought off eBay again. Somebody had just like, it was a box, a shoe box, and they were really pretty dirty when I got them. I washed them all. And they were just pieces. This is the biggest one. I have another one that was larger. And then they were just 6, 4. It was like someone was making something, tablecloth or a bedspread, and they never finished it. I pieced them to just a piece of muslin, and I'm going to just sew them all to the muslin, probably using red zigzag, just make sure it's just on there. And this is going to be the back of the pillow. It's just really cozy. So I need to sew all that. So I pinned that together. And then for the front, I think I'm just going to sew this on. I think I'm just going to do it with the machine on the muslin. And then if I do it around the edges, I don't think I'll need to do anything else to it. I mean, this will be sewn down in the seam. The top and the bottom will be up in the seams, but I think that's okay because that'll make it really secure. And it's just going to make, I think, a unique pillowcase. And I see these antimacassars, I guess they were called. Mascar was a hair oil, so an antimacassar might have a different pronunciation. I think that's how you say it. Anyway, they're very Victorian, and that was anti. It prohibited or it protected your chair from the mascar, which was the hair oil that men wore. So they would make a lot of these for the back of chairs. So you can still find these sets. Sometimes they're stained because they got used. And most of the time, now don't hold me to this, but most of the time you can drop in, this is what I do with them when I get one that's badly stained, drop it in a bowl of very hot water with just a dishwashing tablet in it and soak it, and that usually does the trick as far as taking the stains out. I've even gone, if I didn't spend a lot of money, I've even bleached some. And this cotton thread just really holds up well. I have lost a few, I will have to admit that some of them have just deteriorated in the bleach. Usually I'm not spending a lot of money, so if it's badly stained, then if I've only bought it, like spent $1 or something in an antique store, it's worth the risk. You'll have to make that decision for yourself, obviously. But this set is not stained at all. I don't think it ever got used because they recognized it was done in the two different shades. And like I said, I don't care about that. I think that it sort of adds to the story. I'm just going to go on the machine and sew this, and I'll probably go, you know, either by hand. We'll see how it, once I do the edges. I probably will go by hand and just do little stitches all over, sort of like when you're tying a quilt. Just to keep it, or like in a mattress ticking, just to keep it down on the fabric. And then I will put that together with the backing and I'll hand close it. So we'll watch all that. It's not as flashy as the other ones, but I think it will be a nice cozy thing. I like it. I think it will make a unique throw pillow. So I'm just going to do it, and maybe, I was thinking to think maybe a red bit of. So what I'm thinking is, since it has this little, let's see, just to tie in the red. That's cute. And then I could sew a, just like that. Now that's cute. And that ties in the red. That will tie in our red with the pillow because we didn't really have anything red, so I was looking for somewhere to tie in some red. Alright, so I'm going to sew those on the sewing machine and I'll be right back. But if you're using any kind of doily, just a quick note, just whatever fabric you choose, like if I did the puppy on the muslin, but I wanted something larger and that took up half the, most of the pillows. So these smaller ones I felt like I needed to do something else with it. So I think that would be good on, let me put a few other pins in here just so it doesn't bunch up while I'm sewing it. So I'll sew that on the machine.
Normally I have a discussion about this, but in the interest of time, I'm just going to call it out. This is this continuous exploration loop here.
Sew on the doily and sew the crochet pieces to the muslin, and I'm just going to use a wide, most of this isn't going to show, some of it will be in there, but I don't think it's going to show very much, so it's going to be in the seam. I'm going to use a very wide zigzag. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do it up as near the seam as possible. So all of this will get sewn into the pillows. Okay, I'm going to hand sew the red bow part, so that won't be a problem. Okay, now let me lay these together. A few pins in here. In the middle to keep things in order here. Alright, I'm not going to sew this in because that's the part I'm going to slip the pillow in and do it by hand. So let's sew this up. I'll trim this up and then we'll turn it inside out. Let me get some red thread and we'll do that bow real quick. And I'm going to pull this up into here. Fold this under like this. Alright, so then we're going to sew that edge. And see, I pulled the little, on some of the parts where the little doily ruffle was, I pulled it out because part of it's showing on the other side, so that way it'd be consistent with the other side. Okay, let's get some white thread here. Okay, and I'm just going to hand close this pill. Got to make sure you're getting the muslin under the doily, not just the doily. Okay, now because I want to preserve this doily edge, I'm going to go do my stitching like on the inside. Okay, I'm almost at the end of that doily and then I can resume normal stitching here. pillow on the back. Like I have a nice crocheted back. So that's cool. I was able to use all those pieces up that I had, and I wanted to use in something, so that's neat. And then I was able to use that cool big chair doily up, and I added the ribbon to carry in with the red and white theme for the cozy corner. And this is a little kitten doily, so you could, if you didn't have a big enough one, you could do as big, you know, find some pretty fabric and then put it on to the fabric. There's all kinds of ways you could improvise. If you don't have a big one, you can just, you know, use it, center it in. You could use 3 small ones and join them together with bows or flowers or something. There's all kinds of ways you could use vintage doilies to make throw pillows. So this has been Angie from Canterbury Trails Farm, and today we made a throw pillow using vintage doilies and some vintage crochet pieces. I hope that you can repurpose a vintage doily of your own and make a